A while back, I asked you guys to submit your YouTube channels to me if you are interested in me trying to help you grow. So that's what this video is. I think it's time to give back. I think it's time to help you guys as much as you've helped me. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna share my hints and tips and basically what I wish people would have told me. I know it's not related to corporate cringe. I know it's not related to programming, but maybe you can learn a thing or two about content creation. When I sat down to this video, I wrote like this big long script about how I don't feel qualified and I have like YouTube imposter syndrome, and I thought this video was gonna be a lot easier to make. And as I sat down and I started going through some of these channels, I was like, are you qualified to do this, Josh? Because you haven't made it yet. Or like, you know, what makes your advice? You don't have a bazillion followers and you don't have a bazillion subscribers, and just take everything I say with a grain of salt. Obviously there are some stylistic choices, but I'm just gonna tell you what I learned and what I know about it. So we're gonna go through like editing your videos a little bit, editing your thumbnails. We're gonna do like channel overview and spread the love, right? I'm not worried about competition. I'm not worried about other people in this area. There's plenty of real estate for everybody here, and it's my recommendation that everyone at least have some sort of a brand to fall back on if that's what you need, or if you're applying the jobs and you have a brand, look at all these tutorials and these videos that I have. I can assure you that that will help you in your job search. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this, something different. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the software that I'm using or any of the techniques that I'm doing. This video was really fun for me to make. It's just something I enjoy, editing, film, and helping people all combined into one. So something new for the channel. And I really hope it helps you guys out. And if you'd like to submit your channel, just submit it to josh@grindreel.com. Okay, let's jump into this first one.
Hello everyone, my name is Keith, and in this video we're talking about the Mavic 2 and what picture profiles you should be using.
How many subscribers do you think this man has? Like 30,000, 50,000, at least 10,000, right? No, you're all wrong. 3,000 subscribers. And I was like, what? 3,000 subscribers? This is quality, man. Like, what are you doing here? Like, you're submitting this for me to edit? Like, you want my input? And then when we looked at the channel, there's some things that I found. I was like, oh, well, this is why. And so let's go ahead and let's jump into that. We're gonna start with the channel here. So we have 3,000 subscribers. Thumbnails are on point. There are a few thumbnails where I was like, that doesn't really work so much, such as this one right here, this thumbnail specifically. You always want to keep your text up to the top left so that you can avoid these icons of watch later and the timestamp. These thumbnails are really professional. Otherwise, they're really, really professional. Now, there is something that you need to know about YouTube. YouTube prioritizes longer videos, and we can see that directly if we sort by your popular uploads here. 10 minutes, 9 seconds, 157K views. And I believe the reason is because of the thumbnail and the way that you've masked the Osmo and put the text behind it. That always does wonders. So what I think you're going for are these like simple little videos. You might have like some little trick that you're trying to show, but from my point of view, it just looks like I know how to take the door off of my little GoPro. Like I plug it in, like I know how to charge it. It just seems really simple. And so if you're going to have like a trick behind it, just have that here up front. So I'm gonna go to one of your popular videos here and we'll kind of deconstruct it. What I noticed here is that you're holding the Mavic, the DJI drone, in your hand, but it's in the hand that's in the dark side of this shot. And so the point of interest is you can't really see it. Now I know that this might have been like a stylistic choice. I think maybe if you just add a little bit of light over here or just brighten up the shot a little bit, then it would look a little bit better. So I actually downloaded your video and I opened it in Premiere Pro, which is what you guys are looking at here. And so what I did is I brightened it up and I zoomed in a little bit so that you could see the object that you were actually talking about. And so this is what that looks like.
Hello everyone, my name is Keith, and in this video we're talking about the Mavic 2 and what picture profiles you should be using.
This lets me see more of what you're talking about and lets me see more of the shape, and you still have that dramatic look that you're going for. But again, this is just a stylistic choice. Another thing I noticed here is that you have your intro and it lasts a really long time. It's a little over 10 seconds long, but if you're gonna have a video intro, just put it at the beginning and make it like 5 seconds. This is what your new intro would look like if I had to change it. So that's what I would do. So another thing that I noticed here in this video specifically is that you're doing a lot of talking about different picture profiles and you show them like this, but what would be super cool is if you took them all and you put them side by side. So now here directly, when you're talking about these two different picture profiles, I can see them because I think this is easier for me to watch. Another thing that I'm sure that the viewers probably didn't notice, but I noticed because I do this all day.
265. You have D-Log M and HLG.
If you didn't see it, basically he masked his hand over the text here. And this is a very manual process. You have to go frame by frame, which means like arrow key to do this. And then you have to like drag the mask around the hand, every single key. It's called rotoscoping and it takes forever. I can imagine this took you a really long time to do. And this would be an ROI tip for me. Don't do this stuff. Your audience doesn't really notice it. The only thing they do notice is the comparison that you're talking about. Little things like this, you need to make a point with them. If you're going to use that effect of dragging your hand over this text, you need to make a point with it. Okay, another thing that I noticed here with your audio is that your audio is really loud.
No, and I would love to make those videos. So thank you guys for sticking around to the...
So if you guys didn't see that, over here is the audio section on the right, and it comes up here to like -3. If you hit -0, that means you're peaking and the audio gets distorted. It's like you're screaming into the microphone, which is... So what I would recommend usually is to keep your audio between 9 and about 16.
Let me know if it's not nerdy enough and you want to know more. Please let me know, and I would love to make those videos.
So that's the difference. It's a little more comforting on the ears. This is just optimal listening range. Okay, so this is kind of how I did like the final re-edit of how I would do your intro. Have your intro going.
Hello everyone, my name is Keith, and in this video we're talking about the Mavic 2 and what picture profiles you should be using.
And then the part where you compare and contrast the different parts of the Mavic, this is what I did.
You may see some aliasing compared to pushing the log profiles, which just have a lot more detail and room to work with.
Another thing that I'd like to point out here is that your title is a little odd. I would change this just a little bit so that it'd be a little bit more clear. Best Mavic 2 Pro image normal versus D-Log versus HLG with this little pipe, and then H.264 versus H.265. Lastly, I would change your thumbnail. So let me grab your thumbnail and I'll show you what I would do to change this. If you guys don't know, there's a website just called like YouTube Thumbnail Downloader. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna toss it in here. We can grab the highest image. So I'll take this and I'll pop it in Photoshop real quick. You got a lot of text on here. It's over here on the right side. We need to kind of like flip this around first of all. So to do that, we're gonna come up here. We're gonna edit. All right, again, this is all stylistic choices, but here is the before, kind of hard to read. And here is this. Now you could use different colors, whatever you want. I just kind of threw this together. I think it's a little bit more readable. And so what I do is I always zoom out, because you got to imagine what it's going to look like for people on their phones, because that's the majority of your viewers. And see, maybe it's a little off. This might need to be a little bigger. And this text down here was almost unreadable. So what looks big and obnoxious to you when you're making a thumbnail looks readable to someone when they're looking at it on their phones. Imagine this. Is this still readable? Does this still look okay? Still make sense? So this is what the thumbnails look like side by side. We have the before over here, the after on the right. And I almost never use yellow in text unless you're putting it against a dark background, which you've done. It doesn't pop and it's hard to read. And I only use it to put emphasis on something, not as the actual like main readable text. Your yellow over here is a little bit green tinted, and then you have these highlights behind it that you're using to make it pop out from the background to make it readable. But in this case, it's just the colors of the thumbnail that would need to be changed to make it pop. But again, this is all personal preference and this is all kind of stylistic choice. So that's what I would do for the thumbnails. Let's create quality photos and videos, new video weekly. I would remove this let's create and I would just put new video weekly. I'm a big fan of show don't tell. So if you're gonna talk about something, talk about it. And if you're gonna show something, show it. You gotta assume your audience is smart enough to kind of interpret. And so we get what you're doing just based on this photo right here. So new video weekly, oh, okay. That's one thing I'd like to mention though, is that posting once a week with videos below 10 minutes are just not gonna get, they're just not gonna get anywhere in the algorithm. YouTube doesn't care. YouTube wants to keep people on their site as long as possible, and they want more ads. You know, the longer you're on the site, the more ads that they get, the more money that they make. And so if you're gonna do one video a week, I would suggest combining these simple tutorials like how to charge and access storage. Instead of making them each 3-minute videos, I would put them together, make them a 6-minute video. And then again, you can see like the difference right here. 1K views, 3 minutes, and then 4K views, 16 minutes. Are you using the community tab? All right, you have to use the community tab, dude. You have access to it. You need to use it. Post questions. Don't just use Instagram. You have Instagram linked up here, Facebook, and your website. You have to make use of this community tab to grow and engage, because that's what it's all about as a smaller creator. If you don't have viral videos, it's all about engagement and just being there and being real. Yeah, I guess that's it, Keith. Aerial guide. Thanks for sending it in. Let me know if you have any questions about any of the tools that I'm using or any of the choices that I made or anything like that. You can just DM me on Instagram. The same for all of you guys. Yeah, I hope this helps you out. I think there's a lot behind the scenes that a lot of people don't think about. I wish people would have told me this stuff or just showed me how to do this stuff. If this did provide some value to you, please hit thumbs up, please hit subscribe, double click that thumbs down. If you really hated the video, let me know, emphasize the hate, double click. And then if you got any questions about the software, leave a comment in the comment section. I'll see you guys in the next one.